Tynecastle. Let's see what happened to Hearts against Dunfermline on the artificial surface. Davy Hay made one change from the Dunfermline team, which drew with Motherwell in midweek. Scott Thompson out injured, and he was replaced by Ian Campbell. Two changes to the Hearts team, which lost to Rangers during the week. Dennis Wyness and Joe Hamill, the players to come in. Neil McFarlane sat on the bench. And, of course, Salius Mikalyunas was suspended after his barge on Andy Davis. The referee for this one was Charlie Richmond, the best of the action with Brian Efferson.
With that 2-1 defeat by Rangers still fresh in their minds, Hearts went to East End Park looking to bounce back. And it wasn't long before their first venture up the park almost produced the opening goal. Dennis Wyness came very close on this occasion. Ian Campbell couldn't match Chesnauskas for pace, and Dennis Wyness just couldn't get on the end of this cross. Not to be outdone as far as build-up play is concerned, Darren Young and Simon Donnelly combined to help set up Georgi Ristov, who was denied by Craig Gordon. It was a lovely through ball to Ristov, however, he couldn't make the most of the opportunity. Dunfermline kept up the pressure, and again the Hearts goalkeeper was called into action, this time to deny Simon Donnelly. Donnelly took full advantage of the situation, however, another fine save kept the Pars at bay. As David Hayes' side pinned back Hearts, the home side came very close to producing the opening goal. Darren Young's cross was missed by Andy Webster, and Scott Wilson's shot rattled off the crossbar. An excellent chance for Wilson to open the scoring, however, he wasn't amused by the offside decision. Darren Young's cross looked fairly innocuous for the Hearts defence, and it's not too often Wilson gets into this kind of position. Just like a few other teams this season, Dunfermline have found that decisions just don't seem to be going their way. Ian Campbell was sent through by Jesper Christensen, and there was a strong suspicion that Christoph Berra handled the ball. Campbell started the move and almost finished it, but according to the referee, the penalty claims were unjustified. Just after the half hour, Dunfermline took the lead as Scott Wilson got in the end of Ian Campbell's corner. Wilson hasn't scored too many goals in his career and was more than delighted to put Dunfermline ahead. 2 minutes later, the visitors almost got back on level terms. Andy Todd's header fell to Lee Miller, who could only watch as his shot was saved by Derek Stilley. Hearts reverted to the long ball, and it almost paid dividends for John Robertson's side. Early into the second half, and Dunfermline almost increased their lead. Todd's flickum was played back by Christensen, and Derek Young couldn't produce the final touch. Again, the Hearts defence failed to deal with the high ball, and the chance was missed by Derek Young. Dunfermline had more than their fair share of possession and produced some decent chances in front of goal. And this volley from Darren Young produced a fine save from Craig Gordon. Hearts managed eventually to scramble the ball away to safety. One more time the high ball into the box wasn't dealt with properly, and Young's effort was parried by the Hearts goalkeeper. Lee Meikle's corner was met at the back post by Andy Todd, and Dunfermline came very close again. It was a perfect delivery for Todd, and Hearts survived, only just. Hearts have lost at East End Park already this season and found the pass difficult to break down. However, a rare sortie up the park almost got the visitors back on level terms. Lee Miller came very close on this occasion. Wilson failed to clear, but Miller couldn't take the chance presented to him. John Robertson's side got back on level terms as Lee Miller was bundled over by Scott Wilson, and there was no hesitation in the referee's decision, despite some strong appeals from the Dunfermline players. The evidence is there for all to see, and Paul Hartley converted the spot kick with ease. Hartley's sixth penalty of the season, and Hearts were back on level terms. It's now a four-way battle for survival in the SPL, as there are only 4 points separating the bottom four teams. Dunfermline's last home win was on the 12th of February against Aberdeen, and on the evidence so far, they should have had more than one goal to their credit. Jesper Christensen set up this chance for Gary Mason, but his header went straight to the Hearts goalkeeper. A minute later, and Hearts came very close as Dunfermline failed to clear the danger, and Dennis Wyness almost punished them from close range. Darren Young's mishit clearance, and Wyness fired inches over the bar. Hearts kept pressing, and as Scott Wilson's clearance found its way to Paul Hartley, his long-range effort on target gave Derek Stilley very little trouble. As the clock ticked away, this mazy run by Cisnauskas created problems for Dunfermline, and Jamie McAllister's shot was well saved by Derek Stilley. A fine effort from McAllister, but Stilley was equal to the task. As Hearts kept up the pressure, this corner gave Stilley all kinds of problems, and once again McAllister came very close indeed. Stilley didn't connect properly with the clearance, and McAllister's shot was cleared off the line. For the best of the game, the home side enjoyed the lion's share of possession and chances, but couldn't convert. Hearts were beginning to experience the same in the latter stages as Andy Todd cleared this header off the line. A decent cross by Wyness, but Mark Burchell just couldn't finish off the move. Dunfermline got a second through Andy Todd as he got in the end of Jesper Christensen's cross, but the goal was ruled offside and Hearts survived this attack. A simple build-up by David Hayes' side, but Todd just couldn't put the icing on the cake to snatch all 3 points.
I felt we were the better side and deserved their lead. Started the second half well and we almost had the opportunity. Probably if we score the second, possibly put the game beyond Hearts. When they get the equaliser through the penalty, it gave them a lift and it became a more open game then. And then sort of an exciting game. And to end at times, and then even the dying seconds, you know, the goal disallowed for offside against Andy Todd.
It was a cracking game of football. Both teams really going for the winner. Absolutely no doubts about that. Dunfermline had a chance with Gary Mason's header. We had 3 or 4 chances towards the end to try and nick it, which would have been what it was. I think a draw was a fair result.
Well, every point is a valuable point for Dunfermline at the moment as they try to keep themselves out of relegation trouble. But it's not been a good haul for Hearts in the last couple of games. Just 1 point from their last 2 matches in the SPL as they try to pin down third spot. They are going to struggle by the looks of it. Scott Wilson scored the opening goal. In many ways, an unlikely goal scorer for Dunfermline, although he had already rattled the crossbar.
Yeah, it's going to be a topsy-turvy afternoon. for Scott Wilson. He wasn't to know it at this point. That was a good header from a decent whipped-in cross into a decent area, and he attacks it well and gets a little bit of luck from underneath the bottom of the crossbar, and it was a good start from Dunfermline. You know, it was a tough game for them yesterday against a decent Hearts side, and they're really still in the mire, Dunfermline, along with 3 or 4 other teams, so they need to pick up as many points, especially at home, as they can.
It's not the first time in the programme we've seen Lee Miller involved in a penalty incident. What's quite amusing about this one, Stevie, is that Scott Wilson, I think, was trying to claim that the referee had been conned.
I think I would have given 2 penalties for that. It was a penalty, there's no doubt about it.
Flattened.
Yeah, absolutely. Players waiting, strikers waiting for it, and he just got battered.
And Paul Hartley's 14th goal of the season, which from midfield is some tally.
Yeah, it was an excellent penalty. Keeper totally the wrong way. What was amazing in this game was that there was no winner. There were so many chances in the game.
Yeah, well, I think that's been Dunfermline's problem, Stevie. I mean, they've lost Brewster and Stevie Crawford,
Yeah.
so for sometimes they have some decent play, especially at home, but they're not converting the chances, and thus they're still down the bottom of the league and they're still fighting for survival.
Now, it's looking